Morning, you early birds. Don't know how y'all do it. I ain't got no coffee. All I have is a 5-hour energy, and I drunk half of it to get 2.5 hours of energy. We're in Perry, Florida, awaiting the landfall of Hurricane Idalia. Things have really picked up over the past 30 minutes here in Perry. We're just sitting here in the parking lot. There's not really much more that I can do right now until it gets closer to land. This is probably where we'll end up hunkering down through the duration of the hurricane because of shelter reasons. Where's the other phone charger? Is that for that phone? Can you help me find one?
Right there's one.
Where? The blue one's plugged up.
Okay, keep looking.
The white one?
No, white one's plugged up to mine. A phone charger. That is a phone charger.
Hannah's in control of the comments today. Stream started there. Let's see. Yep. 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 There we go. Awesome. We're going to have to read the comments.
No, it's talking.
Well, I'm just saying I didn't know if somebody did it. Dick texted me and said I should have pissed before this.
You don't say. Well, we were asleep for about 30 minutes until a bunch of people walked up and started having a huge conversation right outside the car door.
I'm definitely not giving them my video, Storyful. They turn around and sell it, so I sent them a message back. I'm like, it is available for licensing. Please reach out to me for further details. Now that I can make invoices, I can just send them an invoice, be like, pay this at yours. Another tornado warning.
I just got an email.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I gotta go back and edit that invoice. I forgot to put my address on there. I don't know why I didn't. Do I do the P.O. box? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the P.O. box.
Where are we at?
Perry, Florida. Huh?
It's got cold.
Oh yeah, the air's on. Okay, that's sin.
Feel this. Feel this.
Yeah, that was from earlier. Before we put that on there. And that's soaked. Like that's, yeah, drenched. And it's dripping at the bottom of it because it's not even on there. Yeah, that's not even on there. Another tornado warning. 2 tornado warnings. You got more of the
Tape. Yeah.
Paper towels.
I'm gonna get in the back seat. Actually, should be just right here.
It says, somebody comments that video says it's unavailable. I love how I took my thumbnail off. And I can't edit it. Lovely.
Just restart it over.
Nope.
Do not touch this.
I don't plan on it.
Never mind. Did we not get to tell you that? No,
He's going to pee. If this track's right, it's coming right at us. New tornado warning. Holy shit, that one's not far from us. Tornado warning for Brooksville, Floral City, and Bushnell. That's north of Tampa.
I hate this tape with everything in me.
The tornadic threat is ramping up now, so.
Because I need it. Got a map now.
No, the hurricane's just starting.
It ain't even time for that.
Actually, it is.
Well, It can hold off for another hour.
Mesoscale discussion. Risk for isolated tornadoes continue. New watch issuance will be required north of the existing watch.
I still think the sun's gonna go flying before the hurricane even makes it here. I'm watching it.
What stop sign?
Over here.
Oh,
See who I'm talking about?
no, I'm blind.
Right on the other side of that truck.
Oh. I am absolutely killed. I appreciate you all tuning in. I do want to give a quick word about our sponsor of the stream. We do have a sponsor today, Scrub Blade Wipers. I have scrub blades myself. What are different about them? These just last longer. They're heavy duty. They're not your typical blade though, I can tell you that. They do a lot better than any other blade I've ever had. Everybody needs wiper blades, you might as well just buy a scrub blade. Besides the water removal function, Scrub Blade has tiny scrubbers molded into the rubber that scrubs the windshield. The Scrub Blade design helps scrub bugs, bird crap, pollen, and snow and ice from your windshield. But hey, everybody needs wipers, so why not get Scrub Blade? And if you would like to be a supporter of the channel, our supporter PayPal and our supporter Cash App is in the pinned comment. It goes towards food, gas, supplies, and so on and so forth. It's all very, very much appreciated. And slapping that like button helps more than you know as well. I'm half asleep. I'm tired. How do I change a thumbnail? Like while I'm live? I don't think I can. No, I can't do it yet. Shit.
Shot.
Huh?
Shot.
What about it? What?
No,
You got me
I'm
confused.
tired.
Yeah, we're all really tired.
Somebody wouldn't have been screaming outside the window. 12.
We're pooped.
Poopies. This dude keeps driving around like he's on crack or something.
They pulled out one over the P and he lost them.
Look at that trees.
Yeah,
It's just,
it's starting to get windy.
I'm going back to sleep.
I'm gonna have to drink the rest of this 5-hour here.
I think they got lost on their way to go pee.
Now that drink was sour. Ooh, God. What?
Huh?
That drink was sour. Are you reading the comments?
I know, I'm on Facebook.
I've seen them come through, but I can't see them from here.
What town are you in?
Perry. What? Perry, Florida.
He's lying, we're in Mexico.
I don't want to focus it. I want to hit that button. Thank you. That made it a little better. That way the sun's not, I mean not the sun, but the light won't glare as bad.
The sun. No, you did not just say the sun.
I did. What in the hell? I didn't hear nothing.
What?
Hey Ryan, it's Chris. Just checking in and seeing if you got my stream on your end. I've got it up.
There you go, good sir.
You're gonna have to keep it and read them for me.
Oh, well. That's a 10-minute nap.
Hurricane Idalia is currently at 125 miles per hour. It's a Category 3, but it's going to be up to a 4 before landfall, so... That's what's coming this way. I need you to help me read the comments. It's about to start.
That's why I gave you my phone.
I can't do that and when I start driving and everything.
I'll get back up when we start driving.
I'll believe that when I see it.
All you gotta do is wake me up.
Valid question.
What's the valid question?
How do I use my fucking gas cans? They won't go through the fucking gas tap.
You have to have a funnel.
You got a funnel? Fuck.
Do you have a bottle? Chop the end of it off. Yeah.
It works.
It's got a fucking...
Chop the end of this off. Push this front down in it. Pour it in. The only thing I know to do.
Yeah. Have you run that?
Uh,
Have you run into that issue?
no.
That dude just hit the curb. He's going over the curb.
Yeah, you just fucking eat that curve.
Yeah, I can't see at night either.
I mean,
Tornado warning. Winds are definitely picking up here in Perry. All I'm going to say is radar's picking up over 150 mile an hour winds.
We're at.
The western side of the eye wall. And the eye wall is on 2 miles wide now.
he's taking his precious lawnmower.
Won't fit.
It's the fucking safety cap. It's not like the one where you just untwist it and pull it out.
Yeah.
It's a fucking. You just stick the nozzle in it.
Ours has
It's too
that.
big.
Force the hole.
Somebody's gonna have to
it
hold that in there.
Literally won't get past here.
Like, get a knife. Wedge it in there with that. Like, open it up with the knife, then stick your bottle in there as far as it'll go.
Okay.
That's the only thing I know to do. You're gonna leak some gas doing it though.
Oh, believe me, I already got my fucking left foot soaked. We tried using a different nozzle. And it
They're gonna be up shit creek if they can't get that in there.
Yeah.
That's not efficient.
Yeah. I don't think they have that in there. Hey. Check and see if he's got a spare in his car with the tire changing kit.
Yeah.
Should have a funnel with the tire changing kit.
Fucking hunters.
Yeah. I know there's not one in here, so
We'd have to unload the whole car to get to it.
yeah. There's Brad.
That's what I was sitting there looking at. Spotted a wild Brad.
This guy just put on Twitter, heart breaks for the wildlife in these parts. These deer are about to experience the eye wall of a hurricane.
There's a deer that ran out on the road on us earlier.
Probably.
1395, but I won't update until it's about done.
What?
Yeah, Brad said, "No, there's too many people for me. Peace
Don't
out."
blame him. Once it starts, I'm gone. I'll go over to where that cop was sitting, under that bank. I'll go sit right there.
Remember the bank last year?
Yeah.
It was tore completely open. The ATM was completely tore open on it.
Wanting to do a owner, I'm like, this is not a good time. They're wanting to do it at 7:45. I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna be a good time.
Like, as soon as it
Are
hits
you really
land.
gonna do this? I have perfect service. Bottle's working. Did the bottle work?
Yeah, finally. No, what I did is it was one of the. You had a little clip-on cap, and I just cut that little clip on the nozzle off, so it was just a straight nozzle.
Oh. Oh! I know what you're talking about. The little, like,
It had a
fuck.
little yellow
Yeah, a little fucking end on it, yeah.
Yeah, and I just put a little thing that latches that cap.
Yep. That's smart.
Mm-hmm. Have to machete yours. This is focusing on the water droplets too.
Yeah, that's why I usually keep my wipers up a little bit.
Froggy said hi.
Hi.
I don't know who that is.
Whoa. Hello.
Not much longer, and they're gonna have to move out from underneath that tree. Ooh. There's a U-Haul. You're brave driving a U-Haul in the middle of a hurricane. Did you get water in your phone?
No, it's all over it and I can't tap. It's real. Like it's into a phase to where it's gonna like recycle and it's gonna come back even. We're already having service issues, guys. Sorry. I'd say that's only gonna continue. I ain't gonna lie, that scared shit out of me.
Me too.
I love how Nick posted just now. I posted, look. Your tweet went through right after mine posted of the same fucking thing.
I didn't know you recorded it.
Listen, my car just shut off and it scared the absolute shit out of me. Like I was sitting here.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, I thought the fucking car died, and I forget it goes off after like every 30 minutes of idling.
Is Ryan going live soon?
Yeah, 4:45.
It is 4:45.
Yeah, well, yeah, now.
The popo's back again.
Let's see. Yeah, it says 4:45, but I'd say he's overslept. I don't know, but my service absolutely went shit just now. Like it wouldn't upload nothing for a minute.
Whoa.
Hell yeah, here we go.
Whole car shook.
Our radio is on channel 3.
I don't have radio.
No?
No.
What do you tell?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm getting a little wet.
Okay. I don't know where that little radio went, the little handheld one that fell off during the tornado chase.
They're calling that tree about to fall on the Sonic for me.
Just a little moist.
Not really. What?
The tree.
What tree?
That one. If you could. many trucks moved? One of them's at the Sonic.
Yeah, Ryan's late. I was on time this morning, but Ryan's late.
I about did it. I about got you copyrighted just now.
Don't do that.
I almost opened my TikTok.
If you're just tuning in, let me know where you're watching from. I can't read that comment.
Where are you headed? Our house is in Wakulla County, but we evacuated to Tallahassee. We just moved from Kentucky last month.
We're in Perry. We're just southeast of Tallahassee. I have no clue where that county is. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Is it really kicking now?
Yeah, if the car's shaking like this now, imagine at 120.
We're seriously going to sit still. Where's the stop sign? Is it still there? Because when it hits the ground, it's going in the car. I'd hate to have to fight somebody over a stop sign.
You all are early birds. I'm not meant for this now. I'm not meant for this at all. It's nearing Category 4 strength. I'd say the next update it'll be a Category 4 hurricane making landfall. What?
Just saw Reed Timmer's live and he's walking right into it.
Hey, the storm just shifted back north.
You...
Almost west. Watch my finger. Going up this way. Now it's going back west. Windshield wiper effect. So it's either coming right at us, like this, or it's going back towards Tallahassee.
I think the hurricane had a little bit too much to drink last night.
It's currently doing the windshield wiper effect. It just wobbled back to the west. So we're almost in perfect position for it if it just goes due northeast now.
Yeah, we agree.
Watching from Lincoln County. I don't know why I'm burping. I ain't eating nothing.
That's what I was doing. Going to check out Reed's Tweeter.
It's X now.
Tweeter. It's been over an hour and Reed hasn't posted. He's been posting
Power
every
flash
hour.
is already in Perry.
Where?
There's people already reporting power flashes here in Perry.
Maybe we should go look.
Ryan's live now.
Hey, I know you're really close. I wonder if you just take a few seconds to pray with me real quick as well. And we've got a collection of storm surge sensors, and we've got more storm chasers on the way. Okay?
That's not my stream.
We have got, a lot of stuff going on today. So hopefully you guys are ready for that. Let me edit one of our filters here just to make sure my voice is coming through loud.
Hey, since he's live, I'm gonna pull over here to like a different angle.
Quieter than bellow whenever it comes through and stuff. So I'm gonna turn that back up, and okay, we should be good to go. And guys, this morning we do have a major hurricane.
You know what? I'm gonna pull over here and aim towards the lights.
Figured this was gonna happen, but it's real now. We've got a Category 3, 45-mile-per-hour winds. Getting ready to make landfall here somewhere between Horseshoe and I'd say Key. All right, had a really right turn right here at the last minute. It's going to go straight into the Big Bend area as a Category 4 storm. Still expecting 130-mile-per-hour winds upon landfall, and that is exactly what we're getting ready to get into. We've got our storm chasers, Brad Arnold, and
Bank,
Brad
right there.
Arnold's up here near Perry. He's live. If Carly can hear me back there, we should probably go ahead and get his feet pulled up. And then we've also got Chris coming on, and there's a lot of other people that are going to be involved in the stream today. Even though the storm is about to make landfall, we still have rapid intensification going on with these convective bursts on the western side of the storm. You can see this really well.
Hey Ryan, it's Chris. Just letting you know, power flashes are already being reported here in Perry. We've had a couple of significant wind gusts, probably 40 to 50 miles an hour ahead of the landfalling hurricane.
On rate, we're going through a little bit of an eye wall replacement cycle on its approach to land. So I still think that this could kind of cut up a little bit
Hey
farther
Ryan,
north.
it's Chris. Just letting you know, power flashes are already being reported here in Perry. We've had a couple of significant wind gusts, probably 40 to 50 miles an hour ahead of the landfalling hurricane.
Okay, all right, so we've already got strong winds in Perry, which is where Chris Hall is. It's also where Freddie McKinney is. And
Everybody's
Ryan
here.
Scholl.
There's nowhere else to go.
I mean, pretty much everybody that we're working with here is in Perry. We do have a couple of other vantage points that we're going to have today, including from Y'all Force One.
Like,
It's probably
for
gonna
shelter-wise,
station
there's nowhere else to
somewhere
go.
between Mayo and Lake City, maybe even up there towards Madison. As this monster hurricane comes in, guys, this thing, after we ended the stream last night, it literally blew up unlike anything that we've really seen before. You know, we had some rapid intensification, huge pressure falls, and we've also seen a couple of tornadic problems today. So let's take a quick look at that. We do have one tornado warning right now. I want to show you what we're dealing with over here to the east, to the north and east of Orlando. We do have a tornado warning for
See,
Seminole
if I
County,
sit like this,
Florida.
the wind, the rain don't come in my window.
But I don't see a whole lot of evidence here for it on the most recent scan. So there was quite a bit of rotation moments ago, but it's let up a little bit. But man, we are going to see a plethora of tornado warnings likely today. So make sure you guys keep up with the ticker down below, and that'll allow you to
Same.
keep up with all of the warnings as they come through.
Feel that, bro.
We're also going to see at some point today excessive or extreme wind warnings being issued, which is
Yeah, I'm waiting for that to
very
come through
rare.
on the phone like Ian. It'll come through as an emergency alert about excessive winds.
We have that the National Weather Service issuing the winds that are going to be potentially deadly, and that's only going to happen right around the eye wall as it comes ashore. I would expect those kinds of warnings to be issued somewhere between Horseshoe Beach and potentially up there towards Perry as well as this thing makes its approach to land. We're watching this thing. It's a nowcasting event. Okay, at this point, we're watching the wobble. We had a hard right turn, and now we've got another kind of more lofting to the north. Okay, so this thing's going to kind of wobble around and make landfall somewhere between
There's
Horseshoe
Brad.
Beach
Yeah.
and Perry. We are going to do our best to try and tell
Are you
exactly
lost,
where
Brad?
that's gonna happen. Just keep in mind, where it makes landfall is incredibly important because the biggest
No,
surge
here it comes.
problem that's going to happen on the southern
Are
side.
you
So
lost?
we're already starting to see
Oh, that was.
rise pretty significantly over here near Cedar Key, and it looks like that's going to continue to be the case.
Is he
It
coming
looks to
back?
me
No.
like
No.
Okay.
the winds are actually going to be right on the top of the storm. So that's going to be
Dude's doing a glove.
towards Greenville, eventually Madison in Florida. The
Go put the helmet on and
strongest
walk behind him.
winds are going to be right in here as this comes up to the north and east. It's also going to have some incredibly
You
strong
can just walk in the middle of the road and walk back.
rain
You
with the
didn't
flash
yet.
flooding
Mhm.
is going to be a big time problem. And
No.
very strong winds right there.
Oh no, the T-Mobile sign.
Strong winds all around it. I mean, we're
No.
talking 3-mile-per-hour sustained winds all around.
I'm just waiting for it to get yanked out of the ground.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Don't know what that means. In a typical thunderstorm, like a severe thunderstorm,
Who's smart renting a U-Haul?
60-mile-an-hour gust. It all comes at once, right? And that knocks down trees and that kills power for a lot of people. Well, today we're going to see double that for extended periods of time. So maybe 100 miles per hour
Stop watch you're shaking.
for hours
Yeah.
for some people. And that's going to knock out power for a very long time. And it's going to cause significant damage to structures.
Maybe we'll get lucky enough the ATM will bust open again.
We're going to see lots of down trees. We're gonna see ripped off
Last year during Ian, the ATM,
Unfortunately, even with all of that being said, the magnitude problem
it
today
busted
is
open.
not going to be at all the winds. The big problem that we're going to have is storm
Didn't get
surge.
no money out of it though.
And that's one of the reasons
No.
why we have all of our cyclone courts pulled up today. We've got cameras staged and the perfect areas to try to keep an eye on this stuff in the radar Omega app. Once again, I want to show you guys this. You have the radar Omega app and you have like the Alpha subscription. You're going to have access to this if you're app as well. But if you don't, I have
I love how, like,
Whoa.
that was a good gust.
Zoom in, enable Project Mesoport on the Radar Omega app. You're going to have these little
Love how it stands straight back up after it was just touching the ground.
on it. I can pull this up and I can show it.
If that dude goes flying, what do we do?
Watching with me right now in the Radar Omega app. You guys can look at this same camera yesterday, and all of this was beach. Okay, so the water level has risen significantly in Cedar Key, and we expect it to get even higher. And Carly, if you can hear me, this needs to be one of the cameras that we've got pulled up. Go ahead and replace it. One of the other ones that's got nothing going on. Also, Carly, we need Brad Arnold in at the number 1 spot. You can tell Y'all Force One that for some reason it's pretty choppy. So, like, if we can check the internet.
There's the
or
storm
whatever to
chaser
see,
Jeep.
if there's something that we can do. But in the meantime, let's put Brad in the number 1 spot. We also.
I know, I
have
died when I
updates
seen
from,
that.
Our
Here
beloved
comes a big gust.
meteorologist Andy Hill. The lights are
Whoosh.
So go ahead, Andy.
Hey Ryan, hopefully you can hear me nice and loud. Let me know if you can.
Yes, got you loud and clear.
Thank you. I just got done with the overnight coverage. Continue all the way through and sent everybody over to you. It was a wild 6.5 or almost 7 hours on my end, and I'm feeling perky. I'm ready to keep going. So I'm gonna do this Iowa coverage together. So I'm looking forward to what you have to say about it because I've stared at it for the last 7 hours.
Hey, there's a
but I'll do
porta
my
potty
best
over
to,
there.
Continue providing updates.
The
and
wind
also
takes you, the
focusing
wind
on,
takes you. I ain't coming back for you after that.
Absolutely.
I wonder how
Thank you
sturdy
very
that
much,
building over
Andy.
there would be.
Looking forward to hearing
The
from you
bank?
throughout the
Yeah.
stream. And thank you for covering
That's a good
this
question.
throughout the night.
If it's attached to the actual
tried to
bank, it
sequence
might be
things
pretty
at
sturdy.
moments where I couldn't,
Which
was
actually I
doing
think it is.
coverage and
That
realized once
cement
again how lucky
means-
we are to have Andy on our team. I mean, this guy,
I think that's where we'll go and
very
just
good
sit.
at what he does, super smart, and just absolutely killing it with
Because we've got
vital information that so many people are in need of ahead of
the
this,
eyewall's
extremely dangerous
69 nice 69 miles from us right now.
expire for now, but we do expect that to change as time goes on. So just like a severe weather sort of situation where we're tracking tornadoes, we are going to hear from Andy. Hopefully, as we notice some of these new storms that will be forming, that could potentially cause problems. We've got the lights turning orange now, so that means we've got an update from Y'all Force One. Go ahead, guys.
Hey, good morning, Ryan. How are you today?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Just wanted to hop on and check out anything that you did the
Echo, 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 echo.
Big time echo. I think you guys are
I think I just died.
Discord. We just need to hear you.
All I seen was your whole body turn blue.
Should be good.
Should be good now.
I don't know. I need to go to sleep.
I just want to give you a quick little update. We have access to Tempest weather system kind of around the U.S., specifically around the western edge of Florida. And we're already starting to see wind gusts that are getting up and exceeding 35 miles an hour, which along the coast is actually going to start to hinder the response of first responders in that area.
Did you see something
Last night on
flash?
stream with the Inglis County Fire Department.
Something
They
did
explained
blue.
to us that as soon as they reach that threshold of 35 miles an hour, they're not going to be able to respond to calls.
Yeah, 35 miles an hour is whenever it's like sustained 35, first responders won't go out.
They don't want to handle this. It would be that last chance to them because you're short.
It's like the purge.
They're going to be unable to respond to the area.
Okay, yeah, so that's very important information. I'm interested in your all's final decision as to where you're going. Are you going to be setting up shop near Live Oak or Madison? What are you thinking?
So I think right now we're going to head toward the Live Oak area. Puts us about 40 miles inland, so we're going to see a little bit different effect. We're not going to see as much of that storm surge effect. However, we are going to see probably significant winds as the storm does put on inland. And it's going to put us in those just inside the outer bands, but still in the main circulation of the storm. So I think we could still see pretty significant wind damage and probably power outages left in the area. But like I said, that storm surge I don't think is as likely to push that far. So just to put us in a more stable position.
I just want to point this out.
Okay, all right.
The rain is not as hard as Ian.
We're going to be
No.
checking in
At all.
with them periodically.
Like, this is light rain.
As well.
For now.
Also going to... Chris, is your plan to stay in the Perry area for the duration of the storm, or do you still have the ability to make a last-minute move? Just wondering what your plans are. Right? From you, see how you're doing.
Yeah, Ryan, we're going to stay here in Perryton just for the safety sake of things. There's not a lot of towns here with a lot of infrastructure, I guess you could say. This is about the only town that you have with sturdy buildings that you can actually take shelter under from flying debris or anything. Especially if you get winds over 100 miles an hour, you know, you're going to have shingles flying, you're going to have sheet metal flying. So yeah, we're probably going to stay right here in the area of Perry. I keep thinking Perryton. But of Perry, I'm half asleep. I've had like an hour of sleep, so you have to look over me today. But on my stream, you see a bank directly in front of me. I do think that I will eventually mosey over there, and I think I will ride it out right over there under that bank's awning if it comes to be at that point. But yeah, we're going to stay right here in Perry and until we physically can't anymore or the storm's over. So
So like, are they only using 2 live feeds right now?
And see how
I do think that I will eventually mosey over there, and I think I will ride it out right over there under that bank's awning if it comes to be at that point. But yeah, we're gonna stay right here in Perry, and until we basically can't get any more or the storm's over. So. Hey Ryan, did you go to sleep last night? It's been kind of a crazy.
Nobody slept.
just got upgraded to Category 4 hurricane, as you probably know. Sitting in Perry,
it's a 4 now officially. Yep. It's now Category 4 officially.
Wow.
Rapidly as this fast-moving major hurricane works its way inland a little bit. Trying to pick out some areas that we think are safe to run from the wind or hide from the wind. Also looking at some structures that may be good visually for damage and things like that. But exhausted is an understatement. But we're pounding the energy drinks, and we're going to do what we can. So just hope everybody stays safe. Hopefully everybody has heeded the warnings and evacuated. So as soon as I see anything, I will let you know.
Okay, all right, so that's Brad Arnold, and we are still getting everything set up with our multi-view and everything, and we that's an update from pretty much everybody that we've got with us right now. We're still waiting on some of our other storm chasers to get out there, but that's what's going on, and it's official. Andy turned the lights green, and I guess I missed it or it got overridden by a different alert. But it is official. This is a Category 4 hurricane now, and we do expect officially from the National Hurricane Center a catastrophic, historic, and unprecedented storm surge and destructive winds in the Big Bend region of Florida from now for the next several hours. Okay, and this is something that you've probably heard multiple times now, and really. We hate saying it just because it's hard to say, and also sometimes people will think that you're just trying to over dramatize things, but it's true. This is unprecedented. A lot of people have been asking, am I going to be okay in 10 Mile if I don't evacuate, or Perry or Cross City or Trenton, these areas? And the correct answer is we don't know. We don't know for sure because this has not happened before in this area at this magnitude. Everybody that's alive today that lives across these areas has never seen anything like what we're about to see. What does 15 feet of storm surge do in Appalachia Bay up through Suwanee and Cedar Key? We don't know. We're unfortunately about to find out though, as this huge storm continues to intensify on its approach to the coast. It's already a Cat 4. We still have several miles of open water for this thing to traverse before it's really going to start rapidly decreasing in intensity. So keep that in mind as we watch the storm come through. Hopefully everybody got the heck out of there because it's getting to the point now to where it's almost unsafe to try to keep going or to get out now. So let's see if I can refresh this and get that updated. Okay, we don't have it updated here yet, but I will show you that graphic information as soon as we get it. Once again, officially from the National Hurricane Center, we do have a Category 4. And let's take a look at this thing in 3D mode on Radar Omega. Hopefully you guys are following along with me on Radar Omega. You guys have the same ability here. You can see that we had the really deep and kind of clear eye just moments ago, and recently it's kind of become a little bit deformed where we had that brand new convective burst happening on the western side of it. You can see how much taller that is than the rest of the storm. If I can get it zoomed out correctly here, yeah, you see that big convective burst there. That's even though the eye looks a little bit less symmetrical on satellite, that's a sign that this could once again continue to kind of blow up in intensity all the way until it makes landfall, and that's going to try to wrap around, and we'll see the eye kind of straighten back out again here in moments from now, potentially, as this gets closer and closer to the coast. Here is the official update on Radar Omega. We have 130 mile per hour sustained winds now, and 160 mile per hour gusts, a minimum central pressure of 940 millibars. We do expect that to continue to be the case as it makes landfall here. Worst case scenario is about to happen in Florida as we continue to watch this come in. Guys, please do me a favor. Just like we did yesterday, we did a great job of this, trying to get the word out. If you can, if you want to share this on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, you could really help us spread some potentially life-saving information.
I'm not go straight.
Of this storm. The number one way that we're able to reach people is through you all. Obviously, the YouTube algorithm, people see us that way, but nothing
Guess not.
whenever you guys come together and we have thousands of you sharing us all over the place, we are going to be able to really impact a lot of people and help people make decisions and help people keep an eye on their interests back here along the beach that have evacuated. But once again, we can't do that without your help, so please help us share and we can get some vital information out there. And also, unfortunately, it looks like at some point during this stream today, we are probably going to have to fundraise for our nonprofit organization. And the more Idalia as it makes landfall here in the Big Bend of Florida. We are going to follow this thing all day. All right, it's about to make landfall with catastrophic impacts as a Category 4 here within the next little bit. After that, it's not over. Okay, if you look above my head, you see the big cone there. The center of the storm is going to continue to go into Georgia, and we expect there to be hurricane force winds all the way through the panhandle of Florida, all the way through southeastern Georgia, even as it approaches the South Carolina border. This could still be a hurricane at that point. That's how strong this is. That's how long it's going to take for it to weaken. And we're going to try to be with you for a vast majority of the duration of the trek that it's about to make. We started this live stream around 4:50 a.m. We can technically go until 4 or 5 p.m. However long we're needed. So once we get a little bit farther inland, we're going to start really paying attention to power outages. That's going to be a big deal. 1 second. Road closures. There's going to be a whole lot of devastating flash flooding, unfortunately, and also potential tornado outbreaks in the front right quadrant of the storm, all the way up through the Carolinas as well. So we're going to try to keep you updated on that. But obviously, until the extreme wind warnings are allowed to expire, until the incredible storm surge is no longer the issue, we're going to have to focus on that, okay? All right, so we've currently got Y'all Force One on their approach to either Lake City or Madison in Florida. We've got Brad Arnold and let's see here, Chris and Perry. We've also got Storm Chaser Zach Hall in Madison. I don't know if we've got a feed from him yet or not, but we're going to try to keep you guys updated with all of our Storm Chasers as they come online. It's early in the morning. Everybody's just getting started. Carly, if we could put Y'all Force One back in the one spot for now until these other guys get moving, that would be great. I'm going to go back over here on the Radar Omega app, and we're going to check back in on our storm surge cameras and really
power flash.
Get an idea of what's going on here. Cedar Key currently getting a pressure of 996 millibars there.
Hey Ryan, it's Chris. Just had another power flash to my southeast in Perry.
And it's pretty blurry. You can't really see a whole lot of what's going on. The water
I don't know if you all seen that on stream or not, but
significantly here. I don't know how many of you guys were watching yesterday. I don't know if anybody has a screenshot of what this looked like yesterday, but I'm telling you, this was all beach, okay? This was all dry sand, and now all I see is water here, so I don't know exactly how much inundation we're dealing with in Cedar Key at the moment,
hey Ryan, it's
but I'm
Chris.
sure
Just had another power flash to my southeast in Perry.
Okay, so already we're hearing about power flashes in Perry, which, that means that we're already seeing wind damage to some extent, and guys, I can't even explain to you how much worse this is going to get, all right? So keep that in mind. Horseshoe Beach, this is what it's looking like over there. This one, we have a really unique view because of the light. If the power stays on, we're going to be able to really gauge how incredibly big the storm surge is getting here. The water is back in this area. It's not over these rocks yet, but I expect that we will see water. Maybe the only thing that we will see on this camera at some point this morning is going to be the roof of this building as the water comes up, once again, 10 to 15 feet here, maybe even 16 feet. We've got another camera back here towards Steinhatchee. Can't see a whole lot on it. Also, as the sun rises this morning, we're going to have a little bit of a better vantage point on some of these. Fish Creek, Florida, we've got a storm surge camera here as well. Man, there's a lot of these. The Radar Omega team has done wonders at getting this stuff together. This is another very unique view here, and this is close to Keaton Beach, Florida. I expect all that sand to be covered with water at some point here. And then we've also got Deckle Beach, Florida, where there's this big pier that we're going to be able to gauge as the water comes in on that as well. So right now, the storm surge isn't that bad in some of the places where it's going to be the worst. first. And the main reason for that is if we put the radar into motion here, you can see the direction that the winds are coming in here is still pretty much from the southeast to the northwest. So the water, the winds are still coming in like this. Whenever that changes, whenever we see the overall motion of the storm bringing the water into the bay this way, which the eye will probably be making landfall at that time, that's when the gates are going to be unleashed, and we're going to see the wall of water try to, infiltrate some of these areas. Once again, between Cedar Key, Inglis, all the way up to Suwanee and Horseshoe Beach. Looks to me like those are going to be some of the hardest hit areas. Maybe even, we've really got to watch the wobble here and see how much more of a northward turn we get here. But even over here towards Steinatchee and Devon Beach could be some of the harder hit areas as well with the incredible storm surge. It just all depends on, because of the shape of the Big Bend of Florida, that's going to be the vast majority of you guys for an extended period of time during landfall. And then, of course, you're going to have the hurricane force winds come in and stuff, and it's just going to be a long morning for a lot of people in Florida. Some of the stronger winds and the heavier rain are going to be right along the northern side of the eye here. If we look at velocities, you can see it's literally breaking the scale right now as we do have a lot of different, at least above the ground, a lot of different areas reporting well over 100-mile-per-hour winds here, and that's going to continue to be the case as this gets closer and closer to land. I want to show you some of the updated NHC graphics, just to make sure, just to see if there's any sort of new.
Hey Ryan, it's Brad. I just wanted to say real quick. I've chased quite a few hurricanes, numerous hurricanes. The eye wall presentation right now on radar is behind. It reminds me a lot of Hurricane Michael. It's one of the best presentations of an eye wall from a hurricane that I've seen in quite some time. It looks better than Hurricane Ian was last year. So very troubling to see this. It's going to be a very concentrated area where the biggest winds are.
Holy shit.
But the eye wall is.
This flagpole is about to go over the side of us. Every wind gust, it keeps
I agree.
like this.
I agree completely. And once again, Brad, we call Brad the tornado sniffer because he's such a good tornado chaser. But he's also had an incredible amount of experience chasing hurricanes. So to hear that from Brad, it means a lot. Like that's not just somebody saying, "Oh, this is bad." Brad Arnold knows what a bad hurricane is almost more than anybody else. So, his interpretation of the eye wall here is something that you don't want to hear. Once again, if you have interests along the coast in Florida, but we knew this was coming. We knew that this was a possibility. The catastrophic storm that's about to hit Florida, I believe, has been incredibly well forecast, and we've had a lot of time to prepare. And I'm hoping that the vast majority of people have heeded the warnings here, as we're about to see the full force of Mother Nature unleash itself here in the Big Bend of Florida. Let's go back to the National Hurricane Center website. Hurricane Franklin is still a hurricane. That's going to skedaddle out of here over the next little bit. Idalia is about to make landfall. Key messages here are catastrophic impacts from storm surge inundation of 12 to 16 feet above ground level, and destructive waves are expected somewhere between the Wakulla, Jefferson County line and Yankeetown, Florida. Life-threatening storm surge inundation is likely elsewhere along portions of the Florida Gulf Coast, where a storm surge warning is in effect. Residents in these areas should follow any advice given by local officials. And then destructive, life-threatening winds will occur where the core of Idalia moves on shore in the Big Bend region of Florida, with hurricane conditions expected elsewhere in portions of the hurricane warning area along the Florida Gulf Coast. So this is, let me show you the peak storm surge graphic. Yeah, there we go. This is one of the hardest images to fathom, I guess. This is It's hard to explain this, once again, because we don't know what 12 to 16 feet of storm surge looks like in this area. But just know that 12 to 16 feet of storm surge in any area is very bad, okay? It could potentially catastrophic. In this area specifically, because we haven't seen it before, ever, and because the infrastructure hasn't had to deal with it before, and because it's such a low-lying area, it's probably going to be especially bad.
If you're just tuning in, slap
And
that like
it's
button. It's
also
much
important
appreciated.
to mention that the 12 to 16 foot forecast here for
We're awaiting
National
the
Hurricane
landfall
Center,
of
it
Hurricane
does
Idalia.
include the high tide.
I've
and
slept
the,
like 30 minutes, so I'm sorry that I'm being
impact
quiet.
the supermoon is having on the tidal
It's
forces today.
5:22 local time.
We're seeing that included in the forecast here. So we've heard a lot of things about how that's could make the situation worse, and it absolutely could, but we are factoring that in the forecast that you're seeing. It's still possible, though, that we see water inundation even greater than 16 feet in some areas, especially wherever the most water compiles. But you know,
About 7 to 8
a.m.
a.m.
Such a large area is going to be catastrophic, to say the least. Yeah, Hurricane Idalia is currently a Category 4 with winds at 130 miles per hour. And this is the latest cone update from the National Hurricane Center. I want to show you this as well. Let's see here. It's once again, it's still expected to be a hurricane way up here in Georgia. In fact, we have hurricane warnings now for Savannah, Georgia, up towards Charleston, South Carolina. So officially hurricane warnings out for the East Coast here. Tropical storm by the time it gets to Myrtle Beach. And then we do expect it to kind of meander out into the Atlantic. And some of the models today are taking this out to sea. Yesterday we had a lot of them really suggesting that we might get a loop-de-loop here. I don't think that that's out of the question, but it's
There's stuff being pulled out of the ground in the parking lot beside of
I
us.
don't think that even if it does come back around to
Stuff's
round
being
two,
ripped out of the
I don't think
ground.
it'll ever be as strong as it is
There's
right
something
now.
right here. Just
So,
Every time the
let's
wind
hope
blows,
just gets
it
out
blows
here
it
and doesn't
around.
bother anybody. Maybe
looks
it's
like a
just
bird
fine.
feeder over
We
here
do it as a tropical storm. That
in
would
front
be
of
the
them
best case
headlights.
scenario.
oh,
So yeah, we've got people in the background monitoring the news. As soon as we start hearing more about these power outages and things that are getting ready to happen, we will relay that to you. For now, it's just kind of it's an unfortunate situation. Situation, let me know if this is annoying, but I would like to hear it. That guy, while I get this set up. Now we've got the SARNet, Florida's statewide repeater system. And then what else do we need? We do have an update from Y'all Force One. So whenever you guys are ready, go ahead.
Hey Ryan, so just a quick update. We're hearing some reports from the Horseshoe Bay Fire Department, which is about 20 miles north of Cedar Peak, which is where we were last night. That there's still multiple residents that are in like campers and mobile homes right on the coast haven't chose to evacuate. And this is kind of one of those final warnings again that we're urging you, if you're watching the stream, to make sure you're getting out of the area because, like we talked about for the last hour and last night, the storm surge there is literally going to be life-threatening. And if you don't take this warning right now, it definitely could have ends in a way that any of us want to see.
Chandra and Kyle and Austin are all out there in Y'all Force One. They're not going to go to the landfall area. They're not going to go to the hardest hit areas while the storm is happening. They're there to assess the damage and be there in case the Y'all squad needs to show up. We've got a trailer that we've got a lot of supplies in them, and we can fill it up with even more. We've got all kinds of resources and connections with the local officials there through our nonprofit, and that's what they're there for right now. But they're also going to be relaying news updates to us throughout the day from Y'all Force One, which what we call our vehicle that we use to get around in. So we're going to be hearing from them quite a bit today. And to touch on what Caleb has been saying over the course of the morning so far, we have to make the decision now to leave because emergency crews are not going to be able to respond in the way that they would on a sunny day, right? So when there's a mandatory evacuation, police officers, EMS, whoever it is that is dealing with the situation out here, they have families, they have their own lives. They don't want to die in this storm, right? So there are going to be restrictions in place as to what they can and cannot respond to. Once the winds get over 35 miles per hour in a lot of places, the vehicles won't run. So if you've made the decision to not evacuate and then you call for help, it might take longer for somebody to come rescue you. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You might not be able to get the help that you need if you choose to stay. So hopefully everybody's out there. We've got a lot of good reports from Cedar Key and places like that most of the residents that live right along the coast have gotten out. Obviously, there are some that have decided to stay back. You can't make anybody leave their home. But a lot of people are getting the heck out of there, which is good because that's what we need to protect life. It's not just about yourself at that point. You got to think about other people. Somebody's going to have to risk their life to save you potentially if you don't. So currently we've got Y'all Force One out there. We've got Chris Hall. We've got Brad Arnold. I don't know when we're going to have some of our other people. I don't know if we've heard from them or not, but I know that we've got Freddie McKinney out there. I know that we've got Hunter and Nick, and there's a couple other chasers that we'll be working with at some point here. But in the meantime, we are continuing to watch our storm surge cameras that we have in Cedar Key, Horseshoe Beach, and Keaton Beach as the storm continues to come in. It's official that it's a Category 4. Yeah, it's officially a Category 4, and it's still intensifying. Yeah, I don't think we have Riley awake yet. So I think the storm chasers are, I don't know if they have what they need to connect with us. Hopefully somebody can wake him up soon. We'll get him. Don't worry. We'll get him. There is a chance that this will make a run towards a Cat 5. I don't think it'll make it there. There's a chance that the storm will continue to intensify, though. So it's currently in Category 4, so any sort of intensification whatsoever would technically be a run towards a Category 5. But we are really, there's really no point, I think, in discussing the potential of a Category 5 at this point. This is going to be a catastrophic storm, no matter what that number is, okay? And a lot of people's lives are getting ready to change forever across the Florida coast. And it doesn't really matter to them right now what the number associated with the storm is. We are already getting a lot of reports of flooding and fires due to water damage in the coastal areas. If we can get some more, details on that, that's the kind of stuff that I would like to get relayed to us through Chandra and Caleb. But I know the details are probably pretty blurry right now as we're just listening to this come in through the emergency services bands. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of flooding even as far south as Treasure Island near St. Pete. Lots of coastal flooding already happening down there. If you guys see anything interesting, if you or if you have any sort of images that you would want to share with me, the best place to do that is X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. My name's Ryan Hall Y'all on there, at Ryan Hall Y'all. Feel free to share with me anything that you have that might be newsworthy. A lot of this stuff, I'm retweeting it as well. I can't show everything. There's a lot of copyrighted stuff, that kind of jazz. So I'm retweeting it. If you guys want to see some of this flooding imagery, go check it out on Twitter. This is the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. This was 3 hours ago, so I'm sure that the water has risen in this area, potentially as the storm has gotten closer to land. But you can see that there's already some water inundation there, 3 to 4 feet on Sunset Way, and that was 3 hours ago there. We're going to see if there's anything new coming in. Yeah, Florida, do not mess with Idalia. This is not like a hurricane you've been through before. That's what we always hear. We've been through hurricanes. Nope, not this one. This one's a little different. We do have customers without power in Florida. We've got about 57,000 people without power now in Florida. That number is going to rise significantly as the day goes on. Going to rise quite a bit. Category 4, yep. Category 4, and Perry, Florida, that's where Brad Arnold is. And you can see that the winds are already picking up there pretty significantly. And, he's nowhere near the strongest winds. Nowhere near it. The strongest winds are still significantly displaced from where Brad Arnold is right now. We won't see the really strong, extreme, destructive winds for probably a little while on Brad's camera or anybody else's. So here's the radar loop of our monster hurricane continuing to approach Florida. You can see the very impressive eye wall. You can see there's some moments where the eye looks almost square, where you see the little indentions like this. This is very indicative of a very strong hurricane. There's probably multiple mesovortices inside of the eye that are all kind of compiling and then helping to clear the eye out. We saw this in Hurricane Michael in 2018, and we're seeing something very similar here. So the non-perfect circular shape isn't always a sign of disorganization. Sometimes it's just a sign of some very interesting things happening inside of the eye due to the intensification of the storm. Western side has the biggest reflectivity signature right now. That's going to be a lot of wind, but the strongest winds are still going to be on the northern side, and we're still going to be seeing very strong winds as well on the eastern side, like a traditional hurricane too. But all around the storm center, it looks like it's very intense right now with the winds. I wouldn't be surprised to see 130, 150 mile per hour gusts on the corner of the eye wall as it makes its approach to landfall. Let's look at some of the towns. Let's go in closer to some of the towns that might be impacted directly here by some of the strongest winds. Deckle Beach, I hope I'm saying that right. Deckle Beach definitely looks like it's in the line of fire to receive some of the strongest winds from this storm. Additionally, I would be watching out in Fish Creek. Hopefully these places are some of the places that everybody has evacuated from, because these places, I promise y'all, are not going to fare well here. There's a possibility, not all of them, obviously. I don't know the exact geography of these places and how they're laid out, but some of these places may be obliterated by this. And I'm not saying that to, dramatize it or anything. I'm just trying to really drive the point home. This is not just another storm. This is going to be a pretty big deal. But beyond the coastal areas, we're going to see extreme, potentially destructive winds as far north as Penland, Athena, Carver, Clara, Cook's Hammock, Townsend, Perry, obviously, and then eventually that's going to make it up there to Madison, Lee, Live Oak, Jasper, and Jennings. And outside of that, we are going to see very strong damaging winds, even as far outside as Lake City, Cross City, Chiefland, Newberry, maybe even up there towards Tallahassee and Monticello as well. And then we'll kind of gauge how strong those winds are as the storm makes it up towards Valdosta, Georgia, and even over there towards Fargo and Waycrosses. We expect this to potentially be still a Category 2 hurricane in southeast Georgia. 2 p.m. today, we're still going to have a 100-mile-per-hour hurricane in Georgia. That is insane. That is insane. New tornado watch. This is another problem that we're going to have today. Tornadoes possible today from Savannah, Georgia, down to Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa. Everybody in the yellow there, that's 12 million people under a tornado watch, and that's on top of the flooding and hurricane concerns. It's very common that several tornadoes happen in tropical systems. We're going to have a catastrophic Category 4 storm making landfall, causing big-time problems in the Big Bend area, while also having potentially several tornadoes simultaneously moving up through the peninsula of Florida and into Georgia. Just heard that the barrier islands are underwater and the water levels are still rising. Lights are orange. Go ahead. Caleb, was that what you were ready to tell me? You gotta be quick.
I was just about to talk about it. Literally
How do I feel about this? This is sheet metal. Yeah, all this siding is sheet metal.
I don't know.
What do you think?
So it's continuing to happen. The scanners are going absolutely nuts right now. Police and fire and dispatch are overwhelmed with information that's coming in. So we're trying to do our best to decipher it as it is coming into us. But
With the wind going that way, we should be okay. But
absolutely. Thank you guys so much. And you checking in with them as much as possible. We're really starting to see that storm surge come in on the storm surge camera in Cedar Key. And this is coming from Radar Omega. Yeah, that's even a lot worse than what we saw just moments ago. So we're seeing the waves and we're seeing the incredible water inundation in Cedar Key. So I think
should I get cash out of my card line here?
Stronger, winds that are coming out of the direction that's necessary to really cause the flooding here. I think that's starting to happen in places like Cedar Key, and it's only going to get worse from here. So you can see the water pouring in. Once again, just yesterday this was dry. Everything that we were looking at here for the most part was dry, and the water's going to continue to rise. I think we're going to see something similar happen with all of these other cameras as well. And we'll check them one by one here, actually in the Radar Omega app. So this is Cedar Key. This is the one that we were just looking at. Pressure 95 millibars right now at that particular station. Horseshoe Beach. This is what that one looks like. And it looks like we've lost power here. We did have a really nice light that was illuminating this area, but that's either been turned off or we've lost power. Wouldn't be surprised at all if the power's already out there. But we've got another camera up here towards Jenna. Looks like the water's still below the rocks at this point. We've got several more. Here's one near Fish Creek. I think we're going to see the water come over the road here at some point. We still don't have any sign of it right now.
It don't work.
Beach.
My card won't work in it.
Here, but at some point I think that we see the water completely go over the
I wonder if this other one over here will work. There's another ATM.
The power goes out and we lose this light. You can see the water level right here. You can see the white caps on the waves as they crash in. That water's got a long.
Oh, hey, we got a tree limb down right there.
It's going to continue to rise as the
don't even think this one's over.
necessarily bring water along to show
Or on.
see how
Oh,
things are
shit, it
still
is. Oh, shit.
in a way that you know, you see that storm surge in some of these areas.
Well, we ain't getting that much guard.
That's going to change very quickly, and when it does, the wall of water will ensue, and we're going to see, you know, maybe 14, 15, 16 feet of storm surge come through these areas. Okay, and for some reason, our audio alerts for tornado warnings are not working. We can click on that at some point today. I don't know if we have anybody available for that, but we did just get a tornado warning, so I'm going to check that out really quickly. That's going to be up there in Georgia. It looks like we're going to fly to it with the Radar Omega app and give you some updates on that. So this is going to be for Charlton County in Georgia, near Folston and Homeland. Want to check out the velocity, and yeah, that's a pretty, for a tropical tornado, a lot of these rotations happen very close to the ground. It's hard to see the rotation a lot of times in through a radar image. You can see this very clearly. That's your rotation. We've got a potential tornado here near Homeland, Georgia. That's going to move up to the north and west, actually, or due north between Cypress Siding and Newell. So if you live up here and you know where Homeland and Folkston is, and you know Highway 301, if there's a tornado down, which there very
don't
well
need
could
to
be,
walk this.
that's going to ride the 301 corridor.
Still
up
do a little
towards
bit.
Newell.
Not a lot.
So everybody in Homeland, Folkston, Newell, and Cypress Siding needs to be taking shelter now, as a tornado is potentially on the
You
ground.
want to move your camera?
This is going to be something that we have to cover throughout the day. Another
Move it to
dangerous
the
part of
right
this
a
storm
little
is
bit
not
towards the
just
intersection.
destructive hurricane that's about to hit the Big Bend, but everybody in the peninsula of Florida up into southeast Georgia is going to potentially receive strong winds and tornadoes.
I'll need
today.
the AirPods
So we're
again
gonna
in
be
a
covering
second,
that as much as
because I have
possible.
another interview. What?
Yeah, we're still seeing
Oh.
new. It's crazy. The center of the storm is getting pretty close to land now, and we're still seeing new convective bursts, which is nuts. The storm is still getting stronger, technically. Let's see here.
Shit.
I'm trying to absorb as much data as possible so I can relay it to you. This is Cedar Key. Okay, so this is from Cedar Key. We've got a gauge that's measuring the flooding and the water. And you can see here, this is the average height of the water due to high and low tide. The red line is what we're actually seeing. We've surpassed minor flooding now, and we are getting into moderate flooding stage. Okay, we're already seeing about 5 feet of storm surge here in the Cedar Key area. That is going to continue to rise over time. Okay, going to continue to rise. And it looks like the camera that we had at Cedar Key, I was getting ready to pull it up. It looks like we're having problems out of it, so we'll try to refresh that and get it back up. Also, we've got Y'all Force 1, their feed's down, so we should probably put Brad in the number 1 spot. So that's what the current situation is. You see the exponential rise in water is going to continue to happen here as the storm
Hey, babe.
approaches.
Hey, look.
Let's dive in and take a look at the eye wall on radar again.
There's a
And
hole
look at
in
all
the.
this, by the way.
Yeah.
Another thing that promotes the idea that this is likely still intensifying is the fact that we're seeing so much lightning in the eye wall here. So we've got a lot of electric activity in the eye wall of the hurricane. We've got new big towers going up. This is not a good sign as we see the storm approach the coast here. That much electric activity in the storm, it's just a sign of intensification right up until the moment it makes landfall. Category 4, yep, Category 4. Probably should have some sort of graphic that stays on the screen that says that. Instead of the warn count up there, we'll try to, that's something that we are definitely going to do from here on out. But yes, this is a Category 4 hurricane right now.
I don't know what I'm doing, still sitting in there. Trying to scope it out.
Category 4. Yeah, Cedar Key's back online.
Oh shit, look here.
Oh crap.
Daylight, as soon as the sun starts rising here, I think we're going to understand the story much more, because I believe that we can see some structures and some buildings back in this area, so we'll be able to gauge exactly how deep that water is once we get a little bit of daylight.
I'm trying to watch because I don't want to stay here too close because of this.
Yeah.
And then you've got the flagpole that's leaning side by side.
We're going to see the water likely come over the rocks here at some point really soon.
I'm gonna
Just look
back
at
up
how
just a hair.
strong the winds are. This is another place that's eventually going to experience
Stop sign.
extreme, life-threatening, destructive winds. And
I'll move if somebody pulls in.
right now, we're still pretty far away from that actually happening. And the
You know what I
winds
can
are
do?
already getting
Turn my flashy
absolutely
flashies on.
crazy.
Oh my god, that is bright.
Hmm?
Watch the road signs whenever I turn it on.
Fish Creek. Fish Creek is definitely increasing there. Pressure's
Pretty
dropping
bright.
fast.
Cedar Keys
I don't even know
already
what
has
that is.
5 foot of
There's
storm
some-
surge.
it's
Holy
like a piece
crap.
of a palm tree or something. So yeah, the winds are increasing here, but we're
Reed's
also
still there,
expecting
ain't
to see
Mm-mm,
the
I don't
water
think so. I
overflow,
don't know.
that little boundary that's in front of us there. I think it's a little road. The water's going to more than likely be over top of that at some point as the storm gets closer.
Palm tree. Go bye-bye now.
Winds have to be higher than 157.
Hey,
to
I got
be
the
cat
steady
high.
burn on.
Currently, we're at 130.
The light is just staying on. It ain't flashing.
Water is now crashing over the Franklin Bridge. Northbound. This is the northbound side of I-275 into Tampa. So water's still coming up in the Tampa area. And that's, really far south of, the landfall area. So to me, it seems like what's happening here is the axis of the wall of water, I guess is what we're going to continue to call it, is pretty much aligned with the coast. So all at once, a lot of people across the western side of Florida are going to experience a rapid water rise. We're seeing it happen right now in Cedar Key because of the specific way that the coastline is oriented with the winds. But I think that, right around the time the storm makes landfall, that's when a lot of places are going to see a big-time increase in the storm surge. Yeah, as of 5 a.m., major Hurricane Idalia has rapidly intensified into a Category 4 storm. Catastrophic storm surge and destructive winds are nearing the Big Bend region of Florida.
Something's moving. Something.
Yeah, cigarette butt thing or bird feed or whatever. There it goes. It's right behind us.
Potential impacts from the main surge events are now unfolding across the Appalachian Bay. It's important that everybody understands that you remain well away from the life-threatening surge.
Are they still over there?
Yeah. Edgar's coming to meet us here. I put my AirPods in. I'll be back in just a little bit. You can talk to the stream. There's not many people, so. Uh-oh. Let me know if you hear a big bang, and I'll move.
Okay.
I can't hear them. Oh, shit.
Exactly.
I gotta have this box open. Oh, there we go. What's everybody turning around right there for?
I think there's lines down in the road up there.
Huh?
I think there's lines down.
Really?
Yeah, I seen that truck stop in the middle of the road and turn around and come back and turn around again. There's either a tree or lines down somewhere.
I don't know, but I'll be back. Rita's still in Cedar Key. That one turned around too.
I told you. There's a car coming.
Or is it that tree hanging that low?
Hmm? No, it's not that because a car just came up here and turned.
Yep. Alright. Alright, sounds good. Tree down on 361 north of beach. That's just to the south of us and to the north. Chevron gas lamppost knocked over. Alright. Okay. I can hear the car vibrating through these headphones. I was talking to her, sorry. The winds are really starting to pick up here and service is trying to go out.
The tree just fell.
Treacle?
Yeah, right there.
We need to move.
It's not that bad yet.
I think that's where Brad's going. Look at that.
What?
The damage of the Chevron, the gas lamp.
See, because
They didn't turn.
those are the ones that just turned around and came back.
Or I have a feeling all of these streetlights, like the lamppost, are gonna be fell over.
I wouldn't be surprised if power goes completely out.
30 seconds. So
Yeah, you can pull up.
they got room to get around. I don't think. Alright. We are in the town of Perry, Florida, which is funny because I'm from Perry County, but we are in Perry, Florida this morning covering Hurricane Idalia. We've been here since last night, and ever since about 3 o'clock, conditions continue to deteriorate here in Perry. A lot of damage reports already coming in, including a lot of street post lamps already knocked over just to my north, and there's also a lot of trees been reported down. And visually, from where I'm sitting at, I've seen multiple power flashes, and this is just the start of Hurricane Idalia. The eye of the hurricane is about 50 miles to my southwest, so about another hour to an hour and a half, and we're going to have landfall, the first landfall since the 1800s here in the Big Bend. Besides other chasers and emergency officials, there's hardly any traffic on the road here in Perry. Now, we wandered down south yesterday towards Cedar Keys, where they're expected to get 12 to 16 feet of storm surge today. They were under a mandatory evacuation. I know a lot of folks left. They packed up and heeded those warnings and evacuation orders. But I was told that there was about 30 residents that did not. But you can't force somebody to leave their home. It's completely understandable. Some just can't. But, yep, there's about 30 that we know of that were staying behind in Cedar Key, which that was one of the highlights, like I said, for the most storm surge from Hurricane Idalia. Yep, but luckily we're a little bit further inland than a coastal town. We're about 12 to 13 miles inland, so I don't think storm surge will be a huge issue here in Perry, but if it does, we do have a northward option to get towards Tallahassee. God willing, no trees or power lines are down, but we do have that exit strategy if it does need to be needed. All right, no problem. All right. Okay, that's done. Now we wait, and did that truck pull under the awning or what?
I don't know. That one stopped in the middle of the road.
Yeah, I see that.
Natural Diva, thank you. How close?
They're turning around.
The IB to Thomasville, Georgia. We will look at that right after we talk to Health
There
Force
must
One.
be something
Go
going
ahead,
on
Caleb.
that way.
Yeah, and I'm not about to go find out, but I'm backing back into my spot before this bank goes away. Like, I don't want to lose this spot. Oh, where are those poles? They're right there, okay.
It seems like there's some more sturdy structures there, and just for a spot for us to hunker down and be able to ride out part of those outer bands and part of that circulation that we're going to experience, just to kind of be in a safer position. But currently where we are just north of the Live Oak area, we've started to experience an uptick in rain within the last
Tower just
5
went
to
out.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
We've probably been
Mhm,
experiencing
right.
wind gusts around 30 to 40 mile an hour with probably sustained winds around 20. So it is definitely picking up here, and we're going to obviously see that gradually pick up throughout the day.
So they showed my stream on just now and the interview.
Okay, thank you very much. Keep us updated on I-75. That's their live location. We've also got all of our
Who's on
Coast Guard storm
75?
chasers are in a group over here near Perry. So Zach Hall's coming down 271. Nick and Steven are in Perry. Chris Hall, Hunter, Brad Arnold, they're all in this same general
went power over there.
Do we have anybody?
The power went
do we have
off?
anybody
Yeah,
down
over
here in
there.
the Cedar Key area, but there are other storm chasers even closer.
Hey Ryan, just giving you an update. We're actually at the bank now. That way we can go ahead and get our spot and get set up for the eye wall. The power is starting to go off here at my location. However, half the street has power, but the other half does not. So we're starting to see some of those power outages here in Perry. As I say that, good God. Hey Ryan, just giving you an update. We're actually at the bank now. That way we can go ahead and get our spot and get set up for the eye wall. The power is starting to go off here at my location. However, half the street has power, but the other half does not. So we're starting to see some of those power outages here in Perry.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris. Power outages already in Perry, and the strongest winds are nowhere close. They are nowhere close to being there. So it's going to get a lot worse, and it's going to get a lot worse very fast in Perry over the next little bit. How's it going, Chad? Becklin Sample says, Ryan, is it better?
Lights are back on.
Your site, how much of effect YouTube takes? Thank you for all your continued hard work. That's a great question. First of all, nobody has to donate at all. It's not expected. We're not asking you to do it. We appreciate it, obviously. But I personally don't care about the cut that YouTube takes. You got to think, like, you guys would never even know that I existed. Or, like, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now without a platform like YouTube. So, go ahead. I don't know. I think they take, like, three...
Go back to sleep now.
No, because it's about to get started. It's about to get wild.
Oh, wow. I'll
That's
sleep
what I
now.
say. But the best way to support our nonprofits, specifically the Y'all Squad, with our disaster relief efforts,
Let me
all
tell
that
you,
stuff is going to be the Y'all Squad.
If I was these people, I would be in my bed asleep right now. I'm not worrying about no hurricane.
And raised close to $5,000 for that today. I think the goal for that, if we do start hearing about really significant damage, and unfortunately that's potentially the case, the goal for that today should be over 100,000.
Cedar Key at 5:03, just before the power went out.
If you want to help us, go to the y'allsquad.org and make a
can't see that.
tax-deductible donation to our nonprofit there. Okay, the lights are purple, so let's hear from Riley. What do you got, Riley?
Hey Ryan, we have the 6 a.m. Eastern Time update from the National Hurricane Center. Winds continue to be at 130 miles per hour. That is Category 4. And Hurricane hunters did just know that this is still strengthening, even though it's still coming close.
It's
to
still
land.
strengthening.
As long as it sides over that warm water, it's still going to be strengthening. So this could be up to 140, 145 miles an hour by the time it makes landfall.
Wow. Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Riley. Glad to have Riley, Andy, the Y'all Squad crew, everybody. It's all hands on deck now here at Y'all headquarters. As we've got this 6 a.m. update from the National Hurricane Center. Catastrophic storm surge and destructive winds are expected to begin this morning. Data from an Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunter aircraft indicate that Idalia has the maximum sustained winds of 130 miles per hour. The estimated minimum pressure is 942 millibars. In the past hour, Cedar Key measured sustained winds of 41 miles per hour and a gust of 47. And a weather clue station at Appalachian Bay measured a sustained wind of 41 miles per hour and a gust of 51. So, still strengthening storm as it approaches, and we could see even higher winds than 130 miles per hour sustained as this comes on the shore here at Fish Beach, okay? And also Key Beach, Fish Creek. That's pretty much the area that's making up the
just to the south of Perry, issued it about 3 minutes ago. For that area, if it's
Okay, thank you very much. This is the storm that he's talking about. It could come up towards Shady Hill, Dade City, Trophy. This is north of Tampa. All of these storms have the capability today of producing tornadoes. We still have that tornado warning a little bit farther to the southeast as well for Avalon Park. So you guys need to be taking shelter and you need to be paying attention to
4 and 34 minutes to landfall.
And we just had Chris chime in with an update as well. I'm going to replay that.
Hey Ryan, it's Chris. I don't know if you saw this or not. They just issued an excessive wind warning for Horseshoe Beach just to the south of Perry. They issued it about 3 minutes ago.
Okay. So we're starting to see the extreme wind warnings be issued now. This is honestly one of the worst kind of warnings you could ever find yourself in. National Weather Service only issues this when extreme life-threatening winds are imminent. So extremely dangerous hurricane winds are coming into Deco Beach, Athena, Salem, Tinker, Steinatchee, and Horseshoe Beach over the next little bit. Move to an interior room now. I hope that the population of this area is 7,000.
Nobody knows what it's doing.
Every single one of those
They can't tell.
is not even in the area. They know
I wonder who that is.
Zach Hall.
I'm sure there are still people in this area, and you gotta treat this as if it's a tornado, okay? And it's unfortunate because there's two things you gotta think about. You gotta think about the water rising, which would typically mean you would need to get higher water than that. And then you gotta think about the underground or as possible for that. So this is why the best thing to do is evacuate. If you have to take shelter.
It's a good 5 feet where Reed's at, if not more. But what are you doing?
Yeah.
Any chance of an eyewall replacement cycle? There's always a chance. At this point, it's not going to make a huge difference, I believe. The writings on the wall, and it's going to be an extremely strong storm regardless. What happened that might as it comes ashore over the next hour or so. At 6:08 a.m. National Weather Service.
Read the message here a little bit. There's Zach. I told him I was over here.
I'll know to worry if you tell Hannah to hold on.
Hey, everybody knows that. You'll hear me say that probably in about an hour. Hey,
What?
Zach beside you. He's pulling in.
I didn't mean to pull. He's way over there.
8 feet of storm surge already.
I think Reed dropped his phone in the water.
No.
Well,
oh, it switched. He's driving now. Oh, there we go.
Okay, so I was just gonna give you an update. It's pretty dark in the front of the house. The wind is kind of picking up just a little bit. There is pretty heavy rain. I mean, considering the situation's here right now. And we just got back, or we just went through Ocala. That was a good little thing for us. We just went through Ocala, and I think that we're heading towards Madison right now. We're going to try to find some good coverage, and we're going to try to keep you updated for as long as we can. But we've also experiencing some internet shortages, so also be aware of that. And this gas station, if anybody's aware, sorry. This gas station does have gas at Busy Bee, and there are just quite a few people around, so I guess everybody is getting prepared to that's good. But just so everyone knows that this gas station at Busy Bee does have gas, so, and I'm going to go on inside.
Okay, all right. So, and specifically, they're talking about the gas station up there near Live Oak. It's called Busy Bee. Thank you, Chandra, for that report there. We're going to hear from multiple times throughout the day. They're not going to be right where storm is landfall, but they will experience more than likely hurricane force winds as the storm goes a little bit farther to the north.
Cedar Keys.
Did one?
From not too long ago, but just looking for an update whenever you get a chance.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, we're still sitting in the exact same spot. Winds are gradually picking up the closer that this eyewall gets. Rain's, it's not a heavy rain, but we are getting wind gusts, I'd say pushing 40, possibly even 45 at times.
Perry, but it looks like it's taking another easy job. So, in order to get in position to get in, before the main eye, rather than south near the Salem last second. Yeah, here it is. Starting to get in the outer band here.
Okay, so it's already
Just getting to Salem. We have an extreme wind warning in effect. The outer band is probably gotta get to Salem and hunker down here. I think it's going to turn right at Salem, maybe Stanahatchee.
Brad.
Salem's a small town.
That's where everybody's going.
I did want to mention that there are some chasers that are in Deep Beach. There are multiple trees down. It's not a good situation.
That's why I didn't want to go there.
Blocking the route to get back. That place is going to be under 10 feet of water. So
Yeah.
we may have to go down there to help people out. But it's not a good situation down there. They're running out of time. Maybe you can...
Thank you, Brad. Meteorologist Andy Hill has an update for us.
Everybody's headed to Selma.
Yeah, Ryan, watch it.
Selma.
That same area, we did just get another tornado warning
I
for
think that's what
this
it's
same
called.
area.
Oh,
here.
Salem.
Again, it
There's
almost
nothing down
exactly
there.
the same spot. If you play back the loop, it's just
Like
another
nothing.
storm that ramps up right in the same
Extreme
spot.
wind in Taylor,
So why don't we
Florida.
look at that one real quick, and then come over back towards Brooksville, north of Tampa, and those storms that we were looking at. There's another one that's just come on shore near Pine Island that's exhibiting quite a stronger rotation. Would not be surprised if this got tornado warned, given it's actually got a pretty tight rotation on both sides of it. And the rotation is hard to spot because it's red and tan, but that's just because the storm itself is moving so quickly away from the radar. On each side of it, the rotation actually shows up as winds moving away. So I do think that there is still a high possibility of seeing a tornado warning in Hernando and Citrus counties here in Florida.
Okay, thank you very much, Andy, for drawing our attention back to
That
these
eye's
dangerous
gonna come
storms
so close
north
to
of
us.
Tampa.
Look at this.
As some of them likely get tornado warnings, we do have the rotation near Spring Hill and up here north of Bayport. worked. Both of these potentially could produce tornadoes as they approach Brooksville up towards Catawba and the I-75 corridor, eventually all the way up towards the villages. So we're
Did he just put his parking brake on?
It does that every time he puts the phone on. I don't know what it is.
I don't know, but the stream keeps going down again.
we're going to be walking shelter
That's
in
that
those areas. And as
flagpole
soon as
that I said was gonna go. I'm telling you, if we get the winds that we're supposed to get, that flagpole is gonna fly.
shelter in those areas as well. We'll come back to that as soon as those warnings are issued. Storm is getting close to making landfall. Still not quite there yet. It's taking its sweet time. Unfortunately, the longer it spins over water, the stronger it may be, or the more strength it may be able to maintain as it comes ashore. And once again, Horseshoe Beach, this area is already experiencing a really hard time. Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah, you can see there. I don't know if you guys remember earlier or not, but we saw no water on this camera just an hour ago. We couldn't see the water at all. We couldn't even see the waves. And now it looks like the water is at least a couple feet onto this building. So this is like a 10-foot tall shed. On the sides, probably a 12 or 13-foot ape.
I have to read now. I'd say it's about 10 foot deep now.
X on the roof there into the building. So this is like, I don't know if somebody can send me a screenshot. I should have remembered to take a screenshot.
Somebody posted.
Before and after, but the water has
Vince said, "Thanks for killing my chainsaw nearly me, Derek Smith. That's $450 my supporters' money you just ran over recklessly."
Cedar Key, Florida, also water still coming up there as well. It looks like the situation is much worse though right now in the Horseshoe Beach area. So we're going to be watching
Look at the
that
steps.
very closely. We should probably make sure that the Horseshoe Beach camera is one of our cameras that we're monitoring. Maybe we'll take that
Covering the
for
steps.
now. We'll come up here towards Jenna, Steinatchie. Look at this. Water's not really that bad here, so things are about to change significantly in this area as well. And basically what you're seeing here, Horseshoe Beach, is about to happen in Jenna at some point, maybe even up here towards Fisher Creek. Okay, so we can't see. Remember this image. Okay, we cannot see water here. When we come back to this, that might just be all water. That's how quickly the water's going to Horseshoe Beach, though.
I'm probably gonna have to restart the YouTube stream.
Definitely oh my goodness. It's a bad situation here. They're coming up even higher now. I think that
Stream over here.
just to
Ooh.
last time that we looked at it, the water's risen a foot or two. So this is why we wanted people to evacuate. A literal wall of water is overflowing these communities over here near Horseshoe Beach and Horseshoe. All of these inlets are overflowing. I'm sure that
Some nice little gusts coming through.
All right, guys, we're going to switch our feed over to another one.
We just flashed you, Brad.
Okay, we're gonna end this stream, guys. We're gonna start a new one right now. So just watch the channel. We're going to be back live here just shortly. We'll be